We've just closed out Valentine's, and people love to share like clever Valentines. Like our team put up some awesome ones on the Damage Reports Instagram that were very clever. Some people don't really get the point of that though. And now the Los Angeles Police Department is investigating reports that its officers were sharing an offensive image that mocked George Floyd's death, allegedly a photo of Floyd's face with a Valentine's Day card style caption that said, "You take my breath away." Now, if you are one of the few people in the world who aren't familiar with who George Floyd is or why he died back in May 2020 after he was arrested, and Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on his neck for a total of 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 2 minutes and 53 seconds of this was after Floyd was unconscious and non-responsive. Chauvin and the other 3 Minneapolis Police Department officers who arrested Floyd have all been fired and are awaiting trial later this year. So George Floyd died as a result of that. That sparked protests across the country about police brutality and the police not caring about the lives or deaths of certain types of people like George Floyd. And so to share this seems to make the point of the people protesting there, Francesca.
I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and yet it's par for the course. This kind of stuff happens all the time in police departments across the nation, right? And I mean, like, we can talk specifically about the LAPD separately, but I just want to talk generally about there is a through line between what we saw on January 6th and the ways that racist memes and racist posts like what we saw from the LAPD are connected. Right? Like we know that a huge percentage, a disgusting percentage of people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th were former or current military law enforcement, right? And according to experts, it all comes back to the fact that a lot of the sensitivity training and racial awareness trainings within police departments are insufficient, and that the police brutality cases, the cases of civil rights violations are actually there's never justice in those cases. The BLM movement is right that when you actually have consequences for the brutality, for the death, for the senseless murder of someone like George Floyd, then that trickles back to like the entire culture of police generally, which is a culture that regularly shares racist stuff like this, that dehumanizes Black people, that thinks that it is okay to make jokes like this. So it's all part of the same system of accountability. And if we don't have look, I mean, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. If you don't have basic accountability for something like this, or for the posts, the social media posts that these officers do in private, then you're never gonna have accountability for the murder of someone like George Floyd.
Yep, and they're investigating. LAPD put out a tweet saying they've become aware of allegations that an image was being. You've become aware of it. What are you, like an AI running a robot? It's happening. It's like every word is designed to put distance between them and what their people are doing. Anyway, there are also allegations that the post of the image was authored by a department employee. Blah 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 blah. Our investigation is to determine the accuracy of the allegations while also reinforcing our zero tolerance for anything with racist views. That's what the LAPD chief Michael Moore said, vowing that his officers would find my wrath if he confirms that they were circulating the image. And we'll see. Wrath forthcoming, I'm sure. And I don't know, it's like George Floyd died. It's getting on towards a year. And LAPD officers think that it's funny to share that stuff. You know, the officers in Buffalo who brutalized that protester, they ended up getting off. And along the way, when there were even the possibility of charges, they all quit together. Like, these are people that are incredibly resistant to any reform, stick together 100% of the time, and yet seem to really believe that all of the calls for reform are fundamentally unfair. Like, the people sharing that image think, how dare they say there's something here that needs to change? Like, they hold those two positions simultaneously, and that is the issue. You cannot expect them to moderate themselves or them to fix it, because they are the actual problem. There are people that need to be weeded out. This needs to be rebooted from the ground up. And I don't think that this investigation is going to solve it. I don't. I think it's probably going to prove absolutely nothing. But even if they do pull out one person, that doesn't fix a culture that thinks it's funny to joke about people that cops kill.
Yeah, and like, why is the LAPD like being mealy mouthed with this? Is it because that this happens all the time and now we're just finding out about one instance of it? Why isn't that tweet just, this is a disgusting tweet and there will be action taken immediately when we find this person? Like, this is not okay. The LAPD, stands in solidarity with the Black community. I don't know, like, say it's not okay to joke about murder. Say anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But no. It is, again, there's a code of conduct in Senate that we've seen, right? There's a code of, it's like a military conduct among Republicans. They all have each other's backs, they stay in line. And the same thing with the police. And I mean, here we are almost a year into this pandemic. And the most response that we've seen from our government in this year about the pandemic has been in response to demonstrators upset about the murder of George Floyd. Helicopters, police cars, endless brutality on demonstrators. Cool, thanks. These are the priorities, people. This is where we're at. But again, if you root this stuff out, if you hold one police officer responsible, that does trickle down. That does send a message. I do think we can remake these departments. And I think that the call to defund the police, yeah, man, you got too much time on your hands. Why are you sharing memes, bro?
Yeah, seriously. And one of the things that there was some success on over the last year's elections, but previous elections too, is bringing in like new DAs and things like that. That will help a little bit. It's not direct embedded change inside of it, but for a position that is often held by people who are incredibly easy on the police, sort of goes along with them and all of that. That is important too, and that has actually been happening.
Yeah, Michael Moore needs to resign. Also, BT Dubs.
Yeah.
Police Chief Michael Moore needs to go. Goodbye.
You can read those tweets, 3 tweets, and have no idea what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's about George Floyd. I don't know that it's about murder. I don't know that it's about race. I don't know anything. I guess, did they say something about? It doesn't even say that it was racist. I have no idea what it's about based on that. I don't know. Did someone have a virus on their computer and they're really like ashamed at their lack of cybersecurity? I don't know what these tweets are about.
But sorry, I mean, I realize we've belabored the point, but I just want to say, like, actually inside police departments, they don't really name racism. They might say racial sensitivity, as I did earlier, or like, bias training, but the language of racism, which somehow is seen as racist even in of itself, that doesn't enter into, police language when it should. When we know it should, and we see the consequences of not understanding that racism is a system. Doesn't mean it's you, it means it is a system. And yes, officers of color can also participate in that system. Then we can better understand and tackle it, but they have no language for that. They're the arguably most racist, purveyors, or the purveyors of this racist system have no language for understanding the system that they're part of.
Agreed.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.